Oh my goodness. Welcome to an episode of Kera Dangerous Live. Yes, I'm so used to
Yeah.
doing Kera Dangerous Talk. I'm glad to be back here for Kera Dangerous Live. I love this show. You guys know this is a show where you get introduced to artists and you also get to see some of your favorite artists. And, we love mixing it up here with performances and just getting to know these awesome, amazing, creative talents. And today's guest, he fits the same bill. Talented, talented young guy. Hey, you know what? I don't even have to give you all these descriptive adjectives. I'm just gonna introduce him. He's a producer, a songwriter. What else does he do? He does his own mixing,
Yeah.
engineering, everything. He said, "Hey, I'll do it myself."
Straight up.
let's,
Straight up.
let's say hello to Fresh C. What's going on, Fresh?
What is going on, Kara? I'm so happy to be here today for real. I'm just grateful. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm happy to be here as well.
Yo, what up, Prime Beauty? Shout out to what up, Eating Pie. Some of these guys are shout out to the Twitch homies. Those are my friends on Twitch. They come and hang out and come stream with us and stuff. But I'm doing good. Today's a good day, and shoot, the energy's good. And apologies to the people. You know what I'm saying? We had a little time issue. Arizona time fluctuates just a little bit, but it's all good. We're hyped to be here. I'm hyped to be your guest.
Yes.
I'm just ready. Let's go. You know what I mean? Thank you for having me.
Yo, we are here. We in the house, baby. That's what I'm talking
Let's
about.
go.
I love your enthusiasm. I see
Yeah.
why you have the fans that you do. And you know what? I won't even say nothing else. You already did what I like to do. I like to get it hyped up, and now we can go to the intro.
It ain't the same around here like it used to be. You'll see people sit together like you used to see. I keep telling the people to find inner peace. Don't pull out that gun.
Yeah.
Find that inner peace, y'all. That's what we here for. Let's go.
Yes, that's Kera Dangerous right there, baby.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Happy to be here.
Look, so I'm gonna start out with something, and at first I was gonna say I'm embarrassed by this, but I'm actually not embarrassed by it because I think it's funny a little bit.
Okay.
Is it lo-fi or is it lofty? Or is it neither?
I mean lo-fi. I would say lo-fi. I've heard some different names with going through working with people. Just a bunch of different acronyms or different phrases they use. But lo-fi probably. Crunchy low is another one. Funk, like PHONK is a big thing with the lo-fi too. But lo-fi works, or lofi, whatever.
Well, do people actually say lofty though, or did I just make that up?
No, I've heard it one time, but I think that's pretty cool. If you trademark that, you might be able to get some bread and make an NFT or something. You know what I mean?
Lofty. I like the way it feels when I say the word on my mouth. Lofty. Okay, maybe whoever came up with this genre should think about that.
Yeah, definitely ponder on that one. Hit us back.
I hope while we have this interview, I get a chance to go into Fresh's world.
Oh yeah,
the Fresh's world.
It's an interesting one. Let's jump in the spaceship and let's roll.
Yes. What is Fresh's world anyway? I mean, I'm just talking trash, but what is that?
Oh no, it's all good. So Fresh's world basically came up from Mario World. So when I started doing streaming on Twitch a couple years ago, so back in 2020, like COVID time, pandemic. As far as like being a musician, a lot of the fans were like, "Yo, you should do something on Twitch. You should do something on YouTube." And literally we had the idea, right? And nobody was doing it yet. And then Crooked Eye hit on Twitter, like basically I'm paraphrasing. And he basically said like, y'all artists basically should be jumping on this online performance stuff since y'all can't tour. So I was in the middle of that. So Crooked Eye put it on Twitter, and then, Russ, other artists and stuff like that. And so we called it Fresh's World, kind of like piggybacking off Mario World, and I would play retro video games, which you can see like Miss Pac-Man, all that kind of stuff. I got the OG consoles, the Sega Genesis, all them old joints that we used to play.
Yes, I used to love it. What are you talking about? Sonic is out there now with his movies. I love it.
Yeah. So that's where the name came from, Fresh's World.
Well, let's give a shout out to everybody watching on Twitch because we're actually streaming to Twitch right now. So go. I'm new on there, so if you guys don't mind, give me a follow at Kera Dangerous Talk. That'll be awesome. All freshest people out there.
Yeah,
And
y'all give her a follow,
while
y'all.
I'm here, yes. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you so much. Love to see you guys there. Tell us where you're from. And if you have any questions, throw them there and I'll give them the fresh.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. Also give a shout out to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, Fresh, you still there, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Oh, okay. Well, your video froze on my end, but we may be good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my
as long as the people don't say you frozen, then I'm good.
Okay, yeah. No, mine's still going on my end.
Okay, absolutely. So Fresh, Southern California. What got you into music? When did you start the music?
I started rapping at about age 8 or 9. My mother wrote poetry. So she always she used to get her little poems published in like the Reader's Digest. They used to have this thing back in the day where you could submit poems and things like that. And so my mother always wrote poems. And so, you know, she taught me like my penmanship. She was the first person to sit me down and, you know, play tapes, cassette tapes, like 80s tapes, rock, metal, all that kind of stuff, grunge, a little bit of hip hop, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where Fresh Seed was birthed. But then, you know, I got into the streets. So, you know, my parents kind of, you know, they had their thing. It was a typical situation. You know, we lived in the barrio, lived in the hood. Everybody's been there, been around, seen one somewhere, you know. And so that's when I met my best friend, Porky, rest in peace. He was just like, yo, instead of the street stuff you're doing, you know, you're a little too short to be balling. And he's like, I don't really see you out here in them streets like that. He's like, you're a smart kid. You're creative. He was like, this ain't for you. Like, take the opportunity and study these tapes. So what he would do is he would give me tapes on the way to school. So the first tape I got was, of course, NWA, which I have tatted right here on my bicep because that was the origin of Fresh Seed. He gave me straight out of Compton, and he was like, you need to listen to this because this is where we live. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you know, this is what's going on out the window. You need to listen to this because they're putting it down on the West Coast and, you know, shedding light on what we see every day. And it's not beautiful out here. Study these. Instead of doing it, instead of being out here getting involved with all this melee, why don't you get involved with this music? Yeah. And so he gave me Nas's Illmatic, Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1990 Eternal, NWA Straight Outta Compton, Biggie, Ready to Die. What else? Later in the 90s, Slum Village, Fantastic Voyage Volume 1. Just a lot of records. I mean, you can see some of them, you know what I mean? Shout out to my guy, DJ Butter from Detroit. Of course, the late, great Jay Dilla got the vinyl up there. And
I love that art
custom
back there. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that right there was painted by DJ Butter. So, and same thing with that, DJ Dez, DJ Butter. Shout out to both of them. DJ Butter's a good friend of mine, so shout out to him. He painted that. We did Dilla Day this in Arizona in February. And yeah, he linked me with that. It's like my favorite piece. So big shout out to Detroit one time.
Yes, absolutely, Fresh. Now you were a guy, you say you were headed towards trouble. And then you had somebody pull you aside and say, hey, it's better things out here for you. You know how blessed you were to have that moment, Fresh?
Very, very. I do now more so than I ever did before. I will say that.
Yes.
100%.
It's funny because, you know, I'm not going to say you were rambunctious, but.
Oh, I was.
Do you feel like you were inside yourself as well, or were you just rebelling?
I was rebelling. I was an angry kid. You know what I'm saying? Like both my parents were at that time, you know, they had their faults. I'm not here to bash none of them, but, you know, they made some mistakes in their life. You know what I'm saying? And as a 13, 14-year-old kid, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why Pops wasn't here. Mom's was doing what she was doing. And, you know, all those kinds of things that a young boy goes through where you need a mother and a father for that nurturing. Like, hey, if you walk to school and you get jumped, you got to put your hands up, son. You know what I mean? You got to do this. You got to do right. I didn't have none of that. So it was trial by fire, baby. It was like, if I'm walking through the hood and my homie don't come, if Porky don't come to pick me up, that's a bad day. And that means I know when I'm walking home from point A to point B, I pick up my homie Sam at the halfway mark. And if I didn't see Sam's mom outside, drinking. She was drinking. She, you know, she was. This is just everyday life, you know. It was normal to us. If she wasn't sitting on the porch drinking a 40, that means Sam was already gone. That means I missed him. So we had these little pockets of, you know, shit that kids shouldn't really have to go through. I literally, as a boy, had to plan out how I got to school and how I got home. How many fights am I going to get into? Mornings suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, mornings suck because if you look nice, you better get your ass up early and beat them streets. And what I mean, beat them streets, get up before the hustlers get up before cops and shift change, get up before the rollies start pulling up and the prostitutes pull up on the block. So that's early. That means you might be walking to school. I'm serious.
No, I know.
You walk at 5 a.m., clear across, no man's land. None of your mother homies want to be rolling with you at 5 in the morning. They got weed to smoke. They got girls to pass notes to. They ain't trying to do all that. So it was like survival mode. So what I would do is I had a Walkman. I had enough to listen to half an album a day. Side A on the way to school, side B on the way home. And I studied like Nas' Illmatic. That was the first one where I was like, I love the West Coast. I love Mac Dre, Cube, and WA, Easy. You know what I mean? Freestyle Fellowship, like all this stuff. But the East Coast and the Midwest hit me in a different kind of way. Slum Village hit me in a different kind of way when I first heard Eminem's Infinite, or like what's the other one? Trying to think right off the top of my head. Just different albums.
Let me ask you this. Who sent you over the edge to where, well, no, which one did you start with? Producing?
Rapping.
So
rapping first.
At some point you had to say, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Rapping. Yeah. How long did you rap for before you wanted to start producing?
Oh shit. 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, because I couldn't afford the equipment. I couldn't afford an MPK, or you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff I got, you know, MPCs, I couldn't afford all that. I didn't come from that kind of money, you know, and at that time, if you wanted a piece of that equipment, you know, $1,200, I ain't had that, you know, so I went out and I hustled, you know what I mean? Like did what I needed to do. But that's when I started going and rap battling. That's what really saved my life. Because I'll be honest, I didn't even write a song until 2013, because I could cuss on here, right?
Yeah,
or is it no cuss? Okay. Because motherfuckers kept saying I couldn't rap, and the shit used to piss me off. And I'm like, yo, like, put up or shut up. I wasn't one of those guys that would be like, go cry or bounce out. I wanted to get better. So I knew I was going to have to get roasted. I knew I was going to have to go against the best of the best of the best of the best of whoever. So I did. I'd step in that motherfucker, not welcome, not wanted, you know, because on one end, you got to think this is the 90s. Backtrack, y'all. So 90s, West Coast, you know, gangbang city, all kinds of stuff. You got the riots just done popped off. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people just mad as hell. Everybody just mad. It's angry time. And you got little ass kids like me who just slip through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? We going to school, teacher, you know, the teachers ain't there. They're like, damn, this kids might kill my ass. Fuck these kids. You know what I mean? And they didn't pay the teachers enough. You know what I mean? So luckily though, you know, going up to that, like I had some really cool teachers that believed in me and they saved my life, you know, but I'll get to that later. But the producing, I think if I could have had the monetary funds to do that, I think I would have been a producer first, because I hear sounds all the time. Like even as a kid, I'd hear a car pass by, like, and in my head, I'm picking apart, like, ooh, what if I had a, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know what that is, but I always had it, but I couldn't afford it. So that's how I taught myself to freestyle every fucking day. Freestyle. Because like where I come from, if you can't freestyle, like off rip that second right now, when somebody tells you bust a rhyme, you better get the fuck out. And so that's what I would do. Because where I came from, it was like freestyle. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of kids couldn't do it. But I practiced so much, and I wanted to be a part of the culture. It wasn't that I wanted to be Johnny Dangerous, badass motherfucking street kid. No, I just wanted to express myself and be accepted within a circle of other men and women, you know what I mean, rapping and speaking their piece, because I knew a lot of us when we came through in the circle to rap, that circle was the only time where cool. You might see black, white, Asian, brown. It was a melting pot where we could all coexist. Hip hop brings people together. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop for me was motherfucking therapy. You know what I mean? Like it was therapy for me because it's the only place that once I belong, fuck the street shit. Fuck all that. I don't want to sell drugs. I don't want to gangbang. I don't want to get locked up and blasted up like all my homies. I want to come over here to the shop and rap. Like I want to rap. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Like let's put it down and tell people like the autobiography of what's up. You know what I mean? Like what's good. You know, and off that though, if you give me 2 seconds, if I could grab something, I want to show you. I want to, like Royce always says, I want to check my boxes off. I want to show you something real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to show them this.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
before you get to what you wanted to show me, I wanted to say I like the fight in you, and I like how passionate you are. I can see that, and that's beautiful to see. So at some point, you were able to take that teen or that kid who was wanting to get into trouble, and you was able to refocus, right? And then for me, lo-fi music, when you research what it is, it says it's a blend of electronic music, hip hop, jazz, and just some natural sounds. And it's an imperfect genre. You can put things in there that you wouldn't put in other music, and mistakes are good. It's this rustic sound, almost like some what is it? White sound. Just it's just you guys put that little. It feels warm like a fire.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just nostalgia too, because when you look at lo-fi artists and their music videos, you guys use throwback cartoons and old video clips, and it's a vintage. It's its own thing. It's like the wine of music because it's just different. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because you were able to take that hustle in you, that bustle, that rambunctiousness, and calm it down, because this music is so chill and people study to it. Yeah. So for me, you must have had that in you already. It just needed to come out.
Yeah, and it did. And quarantine is what brought that out, because tours were canceled. There was no shows. We couldn't go nowhere, and I was stuck in here. You know what I mean? So it's like, cool. Let's we gotta build. So what can I build? So that's when I started Twitch. To spread out, because streaming services. Let's get real, y'all. If you're artists and you're here, they robbing us blind. Let's just keep it funky. I ain't here to lie to y'all.
It's always like, how do people get away with robbing folks blind? Just right here in the public eye. Everybody can see it, but we can't do anything about it to stop it, right?
So that's the thing, is I'm always trying to configure new ways to pull apart from something so we can have that ownership. And then once we get the ownership, spread that message to the other people so other artists can learn how to own their own stuff and cut that part out instead of the 0.00063 of a cent that you get from a stream. Then you get a few bucks, you know what I mean? Like, make money off your art, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of us that spend thousands and thousands of dollars and might make, a couple $100. You know what I mean? Like when you first started out and you're trying to get on your grind. And I think that's a part that people always forget, is like, it costs a lot of money to do anything, right? This is a business. The studio time, the beats you buy from a producer, the equipment you got to get, all the things that you need to put the pieces to the puzzle, a team if you're blessed to have one, and then all the pertinent information, publishing administration, you know what I'm saying? Like making sure you own your masters, your records, like the business part. You know what I mean? So like putting that all in a nutshell and then doing the beats, it's a lot smoother to make the beats and the lo-fi stuff than it is to rap and put the music. Because I could get 10 people in the crowd and give them a lo-fi tape. I know for sure 8 out of those 10 people are going to find some enjoyment in that. If I give them a rap tape, it might be 2 out of 10. It might be 4 out of 10. Maybe I say something too brash. Maybe they don't like my passionate delivery. Maybe they don't like the lyrical, miracle, spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all eclectic taste. But with the lo-fi, I think you could find, anybody can find something in it that they like. Because like you said, it's like a smorgasbord. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, this sounds dope, put it on here. This sounds fresh, put that on there. You know what I mean? And just make something beautiful out of it. So, yeah.
Yes, I want to tell everybody, for all those who ask questions, I will get to them. I haven't forgotten you. And also, if you now just joining us, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button on whatever social media platform you are, and subscribe to Kera Dangerous Talk if you aren't already. And YouTubers, feel free to send show donations at Cash App Kera Dangerous, or also you can send YouTube super chats. Now, go ahead. I see you got up and you want to bring us a little gift over here. So what do you have, Fresh T?
This is my briefcase of rhymes, yo. This is from the 90s. So all them all those you know, all the raps and stuff like that. Oh damn, did I mess around and lock this thing? There we go. Nope. Still ghetto as hell. See, so I had all my tag names on this piece. Like every graffiti name I ever had is on there. So good thing I ain't on probation no more. You know, P.O. would have a heyday with this bad boy. But yo, I was so poor though that I had to dub on tapes. So these are actually just demos, just raps, freestyles. You know, unfortunately, if you were poor and you knew, unfortunately, Motown legends, they got dubbed over with a freestyle somewhere. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna be looking for a tapes and you don't record it all on them and everything.
I'll just turn this around. But yeah, so it's all the cassette tapes from the early raps. This is all my practicing. You know what I mean? All my rhyme books. There's tapes up here.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all real stuff. You know, freestyle rap tape. You know, second demo. You know,
somebody said it's your OG case. The OG case, yeah.
Straight up, yeah. You know, I had just tapes, demos for days. I was trying to do this at 9, 10 years old.
Oh, you better believe I've recorded on some cassettes myself.
Yeah.
At some point, that's really going to tell how old we are. Probably at this point right here.
Hey, I don't care, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
I don't either.
I'm a truth seeker. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm going to tell my truth. Yeah, I'm an old head. I guess you could say I'm an OG. But at the same time, I show love to the younger cats. You know, people like us, you can't shove us in a box. You know what I mean? We just do what we do. And I just wanted to share that just, you know, because I love the art so much. You know?
Well, you want to share that, and I want to yeah, real chill. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely showing.
Yes, it is. I like that. You have several singles, and I know you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, 3 albums.
Sure. I've actually never dropped the album, but EPs, yes.
EP, that's what I mean. EPs. Yeah. I call them albums. Hey,
it's all the same. It's all good.
Yes. So several singles, like I was saying. So I want to kind of get into a audience question. Here we go. Eden Pie says, Fresh, do you have a song you've made that holds a special meaning to you above all the others?
Yeah, actually I do. It's a song called Regular. I recorded it in Seattle, Washington in 2020. And it was a really dear song to me. But the plot twist in that, and a lot of those records that I did at the time, is my best friend died while I was making that record, while I was making those batches of records. So when I turned my phone off airplane mode, I had to find out the hard way that my other partner, you know, passed away in a car accident, and it was on my birthday. So while we were completing this project, we're all psyched up. I turned on my phone. It was like, oh shit. So Pi, to answer your question, the song is called Regular, and it won't be on Genesis. That's coming, but it'll be on something else. So the song's called Regular. Yeah, that's the one that probably means the most to me currently.
Fresh, that was beautiful. Again, another example of that that the old school cartoons that you use to make the videos, and that's why people really love it. Now, would you call this smokers music, or is it studying music, or is that all the same?
I think it's smoke and study and whatever you want to add to it music. It's a multi-purpose.
And do you take offense to people saying it's nighttime music too?
Nah, I'm just appreciative they listen, even if they don't like it. Like if you gave me 5 minutes to shit on my music, go you, because I got 5 minutes of your time rent free. You know what I mean? Same thing with somebody who enjoys it. They're just gonna continue playing it. So if I got your ears for a second, I'm cool with that.
Yes. And this is your EP, My Head Gets Loud, that you dropped in 2020.
Yes,
And I know
ma'am.
you feature some cool people on this project, and a young lady named Becca. I
Yeah.
really like her voice, and we've heard her here on one of the songs that I've played, I know for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's a really, really dope artist. The crazy thing about that track listing
Mhm,
is every single record, because some of those are skits. It's a
mhm,
cinematic audio experience, is what I called it. So
mhm.
it's only 16 minutes. You hit play and you just let it roll. But yeah, so the My Head Gets Loud, all four of those records are still, I think, the number, all four, like 1, 2, 3, and 4 on all my music pages, like every single one of them. Like all my other hip hop stuff
Mhm.
sometimes might take that 5 spot or that 3 spot, but all those records take precedence every year. Every year.
I was trying. Yes, "Runaway," one of your top singles on Spotify has over 29,784 listens.
Hmm.
Spaceship 42,832. That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's really excellent. But I gotta bring something up, and I want I want to know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Hype Beast did an article, and the headline read, "No one wants to claim lo-fi hip hop. So why is it still so popular? Even as the genre draws huge numbers of listeners, producers refuse to be tied to the label."
I don't really know. I do know. I can say one thing. For
Mhm,
me, I don't care. If you want to call me a lo-fi, I'm just appreciative to be accepted. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? Like I'm grateful to be accepted. So I look at it like, hey, if this is what works for me and this is my contribution to the culture, motherfucking ain't right. I'ma own it. So I'll just go in there and do my thing. I just think people have a problem with being labeled. Like I will
mhm.
say this, I don't like being labeled like, oh, you're like Joe. And it's like, no, I'm fresh. That's Joe. I'm fresh and like fresh, and Joe's like Joe. All right. Like that kind of stuff is that's the only thing that kind of triggers me. But as far as like lo-fi, you call me lo-fi, hip-hop artist, whatever. Like I think people are afraid to grab it because nobody's necessarily, you got to think the people they say birth lo-fi is, of course, they say Jay Dilla, right?
Mhm,
Or this, I always get his name wrong. It starts with a
mhm.
Nujabase. So that it's always between Jay Dilla or Nujabase where they usually give the credit. But personally, I think all those guys had, all of us, everybody that's involved in the culture, of course, contributed to something. So
Mhm.
that's a hard one. I wouldn't have a problem with it if it were me and they labeled me. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'd claim it.
Yeah, I don't get why they wouldn't claim it either. But let me ask you this first.
Yeah.
What popular artists would you like to see jump on a lo-fi track? Now, Drake loves to jump on anything that's hot, so I'm surprised he hasn't done it. Well, his music is very low frequency anyway, so maybe he
Yeah.
don't. But all that singing, sometimes it's a little too much for me. But what
Hmm.
popular artists do you think would be great for collaboration?
Man, that's kind of a, well. First off, of course, I'm always gonna say Logic first. I'll probably
Mhm,
pick Logic because he's done some things like that. I would say, it'd be cool. He's a younger artist, super dope though. Travis Thompson. He's from
mhm.
Seattle. I think Travis Thompson would be dope if he did a lo-fi joint. His music is fire. If you
No, I
haven't,
said no. I want you to
yeah,
name, and I respect those people.
yeah.
Name a popular commercialized artist that you think would. I mean, Logic is one.
Yeah. Um, it might sound kind of left field, but I think it would be cool if Joyner did something like that. Because I think Joyner, like the way he would direct the video and come up with, I think he would change the game forever if he entered in it because he's so creative and
Mhm.
he could do almost anything. I
I
love his
actually
work.
agree with you. I actually agree with you. He's pretty good. He's pretty good, and I think
And
he has the voice for it and the storytelling.
yeah, and then mixed with because he directs a lot of his stuff. So I think it would be a movie. That would be definitely, that'd probably be my number one. You know what I mean? It'd be Joyner and Logic for sure.
Yes. Is it true that Logic produced a track for you?
Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
That's produced by Logic. Shout out to him. Twitch Tape Volume 1. So yeah, I'm serious. That's where that came from. It's Twitch. You know what I mean? Like
That's awesome.
Twitch is where it's at. Like you meet so many dope people on Twitch. Like I mean, they're here. Big shout out to everybody that's here. The Glitch Gang, Eating Pie, Prime Movie.
Yeah, y'all make sure you find me on Twitch. Like I was saying earlier, I'm new on Twitch.
Find you.
You can follow me on Kera Dangerous Talk page, and I would surely appreciate it. Hey, let's show them another video. How about that?
I'm with it. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
And I would drifting apart. Don't wanna see you at all.
Yeah, spent them long days looking for true love. Dark nights staring at the stars above, hoping to come inside two lives ripped apart, cracks withered through cut slivers of a broken heart. Two worlds collide, opposite sides, lighting the spark, searching for light in the dark, truth in the art, setting it free. They say if your love is pure, let it go. If it returns, then it's yours to keep. Read.
Yes.
Sad but true.
You know look, that was so cute with the little Tom and Jerry, man.
Yeah.
Vintage. I'm telling you. So 2-time Billboard charting, and you also hit Shazam. Shazam.
I'm always thinking Kazam, like Shaq. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kazam.
You hit Shazam's top 100.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've had 5 successful headlining tours. So let's talk about it. How did you feel when you hit the Billboard charts?
Honestly, I was kind of like tripping out because it didn't happen in the States. It happened outside, overseas in Japan. And so how that basically happened, big shout out to DJ Equaliza out there in Japan. They aired my record. So it started with Runaway. So Runaway, the record came somehow. I don't even know how, because the language barrier was very difficult. We had to use like this translator app. It was fun. But
to say the least, right?
You know what I'm saying? So she said, "Hey, Fresh, we love the record. We want to remake." And I was like, wait. No. We can't do that. You know what I mean? We have to have a conversation. Like, you can't just don't put nothing out. So I had to hit up a friend, another friend who could help me. You know what I mean? The language barrier. And she was like, no, she says she wants to do a collaboration with you, a Japanese version of your record and feature one of their Japanese artists. And I was like, oh, yes, let's I'm in. How do we do it? So we had just continuous conversation. So we did the Runaway, the first one, they were airing it on radio there, and it just blew up. And then that's when the emails came, and she's like, hey, we have this artist named Chiyoko. And then we have a pianist, Yoka Kobayashi, who played in the Japanese. It's like I'm terrible on the names of things, but it's basically where they go and they play piano in front of all these judges. And she was a finalist, and she played the piano on the Japanese version of that record. So to just take it all back, shouts to Japan, because they broke Fresh Sea internationally. It didn't even have nothing to do with me. And I'm gonna say that straight up. Like, I made the music, I was the vessel. And Japan was like, yo, we like this guy. Let's take this little boat over here and let's bring this guy over here. We like this dude. And
you were definitely a part of that, Fresh. Give yourself the credit.
You know what I'm saying, though? But I mean, I did my part as far as the music, and then the people did the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I put it out there to the world, and the world was like, where we rock with this.
How about this? It's a team effort, baby.
There we go. I'm with that. It's a team effort.
It's a team effort.
I'm just appreciative, honestly, because I'm very appreciative because, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody owes me nothing. You know what I mean? But I owe it to myself to keep on hustling. And so I just wanted to continuously reinvent myself so I don't end up in that, you know, the rat race, being stuck in the old times, like, rapidy rap and doing certain things. Like, of course, I'm always going to stay loyal to the craft. I'm always going to stay loyal to freestyling, doing the lyrical stuff. I love that stuff. This next project is all that. Boom, bap, all that kind of stuff. Slick lyrics, all that kind of thing. But I'm going to do everything. Still going to have My Head Gets Loud. It has a sequel. So there's a sequel to that. Genesis is coming, and there's already a sequel to that. Milk and Donuts, which is my Twitch.
Wait a
vintage-
minute. Did you say
Just an imposters. The real rap's back. Snapping no beats, killing these rappers, bringing real rap back.
yeah. You said the secret word of the episode.
That was so hard, yo, and that's crazy because that's the gentleman in that video is the one that the gentleman that runs the Jamie Yancey Foundation. So shout out to Ma Dukes, and then that was him in the video. My DJ Butter was in that. That was for Dilla Day in Arizona. So, but yeah, Genesis is coming. It's all boom bap. So shout out to all the Detroit dudes that were there. We got some cool cameos. Everybody showed love. So shout out to Frank Nitt, DJ Butter. Shout out to Mud. Shout out to all them Detroit guys that show me nothing but love out there. Shout out to Ma Dukes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? Detroit has been holding it down. Like the last couple of musical guests, they know people in Detroit. They getting busy out there and they doing stuff. So, okay, Detroit, I see you.
Yeah, I'm appreciative. You know what I mean? Like that's just one part of the world where I've always been accepted. You know what I mean? Where you know, shout out to T Ferris. He's another really dope Detroit MC. He was one of the first people to give me a listen to a record. You know what I mean? Like he was like, yo, I gave him like 2016. You know, I was like, yo, can you peep this? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, damn. He was like, you can flow. He's like, you got some bars on here. And for me to hear that from T Ferris, you know, because from listening to like Proof for all the years with the Purple Gang, he was a part of their group. So for me to be, you know what I mean? For one of my peers who I look up to, a student of hip hop, to tell me I did a good job, even though I'm not saying I need validation, but it feels good for the encouragement versus nah, man. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to hear that shit, you know? So shout out to them guys in Detroit.
Yes, Detroit. What's up? Now, that was a short little video, but let's really introduce them and get them ready for Genesis. And I know you have some things to say about this new project.
Can't fit to my shoes. I'm a motherfucking legend and I'm shitting in the booth. I'm a motherfucking legend. Clean up my mess when I through. Fresh.
You know, I've never realized before that you were so versatile.
Yeah.
That song right there, when you all get that, y'all gonna love it because it's duality. There's a lot of duality in that record. It's like chaos, right? Trial by fire. And then it's like, we're gonna be all right. Slowly, we're gonna be all right. And then at the end, we all right. And we moving towards the positivity but I have to show both. That's my thing. I always want to show contrast. It ain't all pretty and sunny. It's fucked up sometimes. And when it gets fucked up, you need to pull on them sunny days to get you through the fucked up days so you can come back to the middle and be whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
did you say when we gonna be able to find this album? When is it dropping?
I don't have a set date yet.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm kidding. No, I actually do. It's coming out in 14 days. So
in 14 days?
2 weeks or less. It just
Girl,
we had
women and fans, men too. Get ready to enter Fresh's world in 14 days.
Yep, 14 days. Yeah, I had a couple of issues with a sample. So we ended up taking out the sample. I didn't want to remove the record, but I wanted to kind of manipulate, like sound engineer something similar. We were able to come to an agreement, and the song sounds just as good. It's just missing a couple of key points, and we had to wait for that. So,
definitely, but yeah. Hey, put it in the slow cooker.
Oh
no time for rushing. We just want quality, baby. So that's all that matters.
Exactly.
You'll give it to us.
Of course.
Now, what about performances? Anything coming up for you?
Not performance wise yet. I have shout out. That's in Minnesota right there at the Lumberjack Exchange.
This is a wonderful photograph. Really clean. I like that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite shows. Those two were the first two shows I ever sold out in my career, and that was back in 2017. Minnesota Lumberjack Exchange and the place in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which was wild. Wisconsin, I love y'all. I don't know why you love me other than whatever it is, but I appreciate the fuck out of y'all because 700 plus people for artists that Ain't Nobody Knew was a motherfucking thing for me. So that was the
Well,
Minnesota
they
one.
knew you. They must have
Yeah,
known you.
yeah, they was hype. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I was just grateful. And that day, though, that day changed my life forever, because when I saw all those people, and me and my partner were on this tour, we just looked at each other and we're like, "Oh shit, we did it! Like we did it! Like we're doing it now! Like in real time! Like we're on the road. We're out here. You know what I mean?" And so that was the most fulfilling thing in my soul. Real talk, Kara. Like that
I know it.
made me feel great inside. So yeah, tour. My God, I love it. But no,
It should. I love those
Yeah.
moments because it's like you put in all this work, and then you get this realization. You can look around and say, "Man, this is where my work is guiding me. I stayed the course."
yes,
And that's a great moment, right?
yeah. It sure was.
I bet everything was glowing just like this photo right here, right?
Oh yeah, it was. It was like no lie. And I gotta thank a couple people for that though.
Yeah.
Definitely. I gotta shout out. I gotta thank Des Zaragoza for that. I also gotta thank my partner who used to rap with me. So it's a real quick story. If I could share how I got on that tour, is Des saw the posting on Facebook and it was like, hey, we're looking for openers. So that's how I started. Is I wanted to be an opener, right? So I became an opener first and went on some of these other legs with another artist. And then my homie who rapped with me at the time, his name is Nueve. He runs a bike shop now. He's not doing the music like he used to, but I gotta give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because he bought my Cadillac CTS so I could put up the bread so I could go on this tour. So to go on this tour, I sold my only means of transportation, and all this motherfucking game shit. All that shit was gone. I sold all that shit, shoes. At the time, I quit my job. As a matter of fact, I got fired for one of my jobs before that because they found out I did music. But that's another story. Who cares?
Dang, y'all gonna stop
We made it.
y'all want to stop somebody's dream out there?
Oh, yeah, it ain't the first time. We'll have to have a part 2 sometime because there's some deep dives, yo. But yeah, like I was saying, that's pretty much the origin. You know what I mean? And he bought my whip from me. So he put some bread in my pocket and he got us out on the road. So I'm forever grateful for that, man. You know what I mean? Because nobody else was gonna buy my car, and I didn't have the money to do all that because it takes money to tour. You gotta have merch, you gotta have CDs. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. You gotta have means of egress. You gotta pay for certain shit. And so we weren't ready. The opportunity was there. We didn't want to say, "Oh, we coulda, woulda, shoulda." I said, "Fuck that. Let me put my car up between Dez and my homeboy Nueve, Michael Meza, and his wife Jessica." We figured that shit out. Went to the what's it called, like fast catch title fucking shit. We went down there, got the title up, got the bread, and I was on my way. A week later, like two or 3 weeks later, we were gone. So what I mean by that is one thing I think a lot of artists don't really think about is the motherfucking sacrifice. I sacrificed everything I had.
You went through the mud, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be on the corner.
Hell no.
You were hustling, baby. You was putting in the work.
Yeah, I was doing it righteously, just doing it right, and that saved my career. Because what I did is when I went on the tour, instead of hanging in the green room and bullshitting and fucking with women and all that like everybody else was doing, I got them flyers from the front with the itinerary of who's going where, and I took them shits, and either me or my homie would either make copies or no lying in the front. We stole some of them flyers that they were just laying the fuck around. We go passing them shits out. Yo, I'll get you in free and put you on the guest list. I'll fucking buy your ticket. Come to this shit. And then that's how we started building fans. So after that tour came and went, guess what I did? Because I was out meeting promoters, shaking hands and kissing babies, I built my own tour off that joint and went back by myself. Me and my partner, and I put somebody else on. So I put one of my people on from Arizona, and then I did it again and again. I brought one of the tours. I brought all cultures. We had everybody. We had African American, we had Hispanic, we had Asian, we had German, we had Jewish, we had gay and lesbian. We had everything. We had a whole melting pot. Native American, all that. I think the only nationality we might not have had is maybe just like Brazilian, because we were just all multicultural. And that tour was the greatest. And the coolest thing is I put other people on. These are other people that nobody, put effort into as a people. I put on a woman, You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ambition. She's doing her thing. Brianna, I took her on her first tour. The Engineers, which is a Native American group. Shout out to them. Matthias Tom, Sean Casus, and my dude Harvey. Scam, he's from Minnesota. Little
That's
tiny dude.
amazing.
He's like 4'3". Dude could rap like MGK and Eminem mixed in a pot. Super cool cat. We had everybody there. I just wanted to create opportunities for my homies. You know what I mean? To make sure that, hey, it's possible. You could do this shit. And it's cool because now all them, they're doing their own thing. We're still cool. Everybody's still good. But I'm contributing to putting that into the culture. That's my thing. It's like, I'm not trying to me. No. Once I was allowed to get in, I knew what the fuck I was doing because I know how it is to be counted out. I'm trying to bring people in. Y'all want to hang out? Hey, you dope at that? I know somebody. Let's get, my homegirl got this. She got a hair spot. You cut hair? Let's connect. Or you stream? I got a dude I know over here. Let's do that. Let me exchange numbers. Let's connect y'all. Always trying to put people on. But in the same sense, just because I'm a person that I want to help people, I think I did a little too much at one time. And I got really burned out. Everybody's got stories. I had terrible stories. For the most part, I was the running machine of everything.
Yeah, you can't always pour. You got to have somebody refill that cup as well. Now, you did segue a little, earlier, it was going to be an easy segue to say, I got this from Wikipedia. Recognized as a style of popular music in the 1990s when it became alternatively referred to as DIY music. Do it yourself. That's what I said at the beginning of this interview. You do so much of this yourself, the engineering, the production, if you decide to put your hip hop on and you rap on the tracks. So knowing that and seeing how this genre has grown, how do you think it will continue to grow? Do you see it getting really, really popular? It's popular now, but just kind of exploding.
I do because what I think is going to happen, and just this is just my take on it. What I think is going to happen if somebody who's way up there doesn't grab it, unfortunately, I think, corporations are going to grab it and it's going to turn into something that's not cool no more. You know what I mean? So I look at it like if we have an artist that could fit that niche, like a Joyner or Logic, or there's plenty of dope, impeccable MCs and musicians out there that are up there that can make an impact. But I think if they don't, then the corporations are going to get involved and they're going to do what they did with all our other music. And, but I'm not going to put that out into the universe. I think it could be great if somebody could grab it. So please, can y'all grab it? I ain't big enough to grab it. I'm down to contribute and definitely hold it down when I get to that spot because I'm on my way. But if somebody else has got it that's up there already, grab it because it's a great genre and it's for everybody. It's for everybody. That's the thing. That's the one thing I will say about lo-fi is the community is for everybody. Nobody gives a motherfuck where you're from. Nobody cares about what color, none of that shit. That's the one thing that I will say with hip hop as a whole, right? Hip hop as a whole, as much as I'm preaching to the choir, but as much as the news and other publications, not saying no names, but other publications blast our trauma all over the motherfucking net and just, we only get the headlines. Hip hop did this, hip hop did that, rap did this. Fuck all that. This is something that I feel like hip hop, even just lo-fi, but just rap stuff too. We gotta protect this art, yo. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need people in power to protect the art because until then, we're only as good as we can stand, you know what I'm saying? Or the information, and everybody's confused. They're selling confusion right now to the people. And if you're not in it, in the music business, and you're not at least doing your due diligence to learn, I don't know everything. I'll never claim to be, but I will say I put in the work to learn. Every day I try to read anything and everything. So to answer your question, I think it could be great, but I think we need some help. But I also think it could be bad if it doesn't. It could be, all those other things to other genre blending, niches that we've had within the years. So
beautiful. Fresh C, new album Genesis coming out, and maybe it's an EP or the album.
It's an EP.
It's EP coming out in 14 days, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like on this video. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you everybody who had joined us from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. every single place that you can
all over the world. Appreciate y'all.
where can your fans reach out to you, or people that want to check out your music, Fresh?
Yeah, just on all DSPs, Fresh C, social media, all the way across the board at The Real Fresh C, therealfreshc.com. Hit me up, DM me. You know what I'm saying? I love to talk to fans. I love to talk to people. I love to share stories. I love to just show love. You know what I mean? Like, it's all love first. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to bring that to the forefront with this, you know, it's just positivity and love. Like, we need more of that shit right now.
Yes, we do. And
You
this
know?
was beautiful. And
Appreciate you.
I want to say thank you so much, Fresh C, for joining us, guys.
Of
Make
course.
sure you catch Kera Dangerous Talk. I'll be interviewing on Wednesday Tommy Bottoms, who was a poet on Def Jam Poetry. Russell Simmons, if you remember that, even Kanye West at the start of his career, he would get on there. You don't want to miss it. Tommy Bottoms is going to perform live one of his pieces, and this is not like just your kid saying a poem. Tommy Bottoms, he performed. He stick his foot in that poem. Let me tell you something. You don't want to miss that. And then Thursday, I have somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a long time. Reality star, MTV former VJ, Tech Holmes, one of the favorites of Real World MTV, one of the alums from Hawaii. So I can't wait to speak to him. But this has been Kera Dangerous Live. We'll check you guys next time.
Peace out, y'all.